to this next video talking to you about our sustainability journey. And this month we've been looking at our UN SDG around climate change. One of the focuses we've been looking at is trying to assess what is our carbon footprint here at SIX and what can we do to address the three scopes of emissions that our company contributes to in the world today. So for all of you that don't know about this, you have three scopes of emissions. You have scope 1, which are the emissions that we generate as a business in terms of the activities and what we do. We have scope 2, which are the emissions that we also take on via the purchase, for instance, of electricity, of gas, of water, and other suppliers. And then we have scope 3, and that's the real biggie. That's the hard one for most companies, because the scope 3 emissions are the emissions that are generated from either products that a company produces. So if a company produces a laptop and then you use a laptop and then you need to dispose of that laptop, well, who's responsible for those emissions? In the case of us, we're a consulting firm, so we don't produce an actual physical tangible product. We do services. But in terms of our scope 3 emissions, there is a lot that we have in here that we have as a business. So we do use a lot of laptops, and we use a lot of electrical equipment. We use a lot of furniture for our offices. We do a lot of business travel. And whilst the scope 1 and scope 2 emissions of the airlines are taken care of in terms of taxes, in terms of our footprint, in terms of travel and what we do, that's not taken into account. So we're looking at this. Now there's two ways that you approach this, and two ways in which we're approaching it. One is, what can we look at in terms of what can we mitigate, what can we stop right here and right now in terms of our contribution to CO2 and other emissions into the atmosphere. And then what do we need to do as a business to adapt what we do and how we do it to ensure that we're actually hitting our goal to become net zero and actually to go beyond. You know, we want to be a net contributor to the environment, and we want to be able to remove more carbon than actually what we produce. An organization like us who isn't very big, it's not huge, we don't have a huge amount of sites, but we can mitigate some things pretty quickly. So first one is energy. Yeah, the use of our electricity and gas, what we do in the office here, we're able to mitigate that straight away by purchasing 100% green electricity and gas. And we've done that through a company called Positive Energy. They're a great organisation. They support most of the government entities across the UK. Not many people have heard of them, but they are also looking at how do they create opportunities in terms of power generation for carbon removal as well. They also have a good social enterprise behind them as well. So that's why we've chosen them, because we're 100% carbon net zero in terms of the electricity and gas that we use here. Further to that, we use another company for our water, which is Smart Water. And again, that is looking at ways in which they're protecting the environment in terms of how water is delivered to us as well. They're two quick ways we're able to mitigate, and they contribute to probably some of the biggest parts of our carbon footprint. Finally, we look at adaptation. So we as a business, we've been looking at three key things here, and that is looking at waste and how we deal with waste. So that's looking at how we recycle our computers. So we've set up policies now whereby all computers are recycled. Instead of buying brand new, we're either looking at renting so that we can keep that recycling going, or indeed looking at second-hand computers that have been refurbished. Secondly, our furniture and everything we have here at the moment, we don't buy brand new, we only buy recycled. So again, we're recycling everything that's there. And then finally, in terms of our travel, that's something we're going to have to look at on a quarter-by-quarter basis. We're going to have to measure that on a quarter-by-quarter basis and look at what can we do to ensure that we either offset that, but if we are going to offset it, we do it properly through an offsetting channel that also adds to social enterprise and adds to us helping to deliver against our SDGs on either inequality, gender, climate or health and well-being within society. And then finally, we're looking at just how we deliver our products and services to clients. And that's really looking at us being far more virtual in what we do, not actually jumping on a plane, jumping in a car or a train every week to go and see clients, because A, clients don't want to see us as much, and B, we've been able to adapt our services over 15 years to be able to deliver them virtually just as successfully as we can face-to-face. But that's not to say that we don't want to be face-to-face, and we do, and we will get to that. But I think there's a balance to be had. So that's it at the moment on climate. I've got more for you as we go along this journey. One thing we're going to do is actually have a real good look at our carbon footprint using science-based targets as well to put in place for us as a small business to actually get us to the point where we can hand on our heart say we're net zero.